Boy, if I could sing, I would sing. All right, YouTube's with us. Robert J. Conley here. Hello, world. Um, have to tell you, my passion warning meter went off today. I stumbled across an interview with movie director Quentin Tarantino, and in it, he was talking about making movies, and this is what caught my attention. He said, "You don't have to know how to make a movie." That may have just sounded like I was trying to imitate his voice, but I wasn't. Okay, so he said, "You don't have to know how to make a movie if you truly love cinema with all your heart. If you truly love cinema with all your heart and with enough passion, you can't help but make a good movie." You don't have to go to school. You don't have to know a lens, a 40-50. None of that's important. If you just truly love cinema with enough passion and you really love it, then you can't help but make a good movie. I don't curse on these normally, but bullshit. You know, first of all, statistically, most movies aren't that good. There are a lot of movies that don't see the light of day. So he is passionate, but that white hot passion that he's talking about is a dangerous animal. And I've talked about this before, and I'll probably talk about passion every few weeks because frankly, it's something that comes up frequently, and it's something that's been planted in the heads of, especially of young people. Have your passion project, and a passion project on the side, that's fine, but a passion project for your work life is a dangerous animal. And another interview that I came across, which also just kind of reinforced this, but anyway, it was with Richard Dreyfuss, another actor, and he was he's had a long career, and he started out around in the early '70s, and he was in a few of the biggest movies of the '70s. And at age 30 in 1978, he won Best Actor Academy Award for his role in a movie called The Goodbye Girl. And in a recent interview, he said that after 8 years of grinding in Hollywood, that the movie The Goodbye Girl allowed him to experience what it was like to become a movie star. Now in his 70s, he said he would have preferred to win an Oscar now. That winning took the carrot away. It took away that which he was hunting. He said, "I was much more comfortable in the hunt than I was in having achieved." People now assumed he could do the role. And he said, "I hated that. I loved that moment in an audition when I would say something like, 'Oh yeah, I can do that.'" And they would look at him and go, "Oh, really?" And he'd go, nodding his head, "Watch me." And he loved it. He loved the proving of it. And so, the adventure of life, and to take it on as an adventure, it's important to make those choices. And one little footnote I forgot about Dreyfuss. So he won the Academy Award. He felt like the carrot had been taken away, and literally like 2 years later, he was arrested for possession of cocaine. And so he was it's this dangerous thing, especially at a young age. And I can tell you story after story of people like in sales. For those who have watched, I was in commercial real estate brokerage for years. One of the most dangerous things for a person just getting into a sales commercial real estate job was to make $100,000 check in the first year because they thought it was easy. And there are not plenty of actors, but there are numerous actors who were in a hit the first time out, or they got the job on their first audition. And you know what? A lot of those people don't last because it just takes a long time. And in Dreyfuss's case, he's gone on to have a stellar career. So as I've said before, I don't reject the word passion itself. I embrace the archaic meaning. And the archaic meaning that I urge you to take on is suffering, as in the passion of the Christ and the choice to suffer. about what is it that you choose to suffer. Now, I deal with a lot of people who have a real problem with change, and a lot of people who are stuck in miserable jobs are truly suffering. And I may or may not be right about this, but at times it almost feels as if they'll stay in that job knowing the suffering they know, and with not any confidence that the next thing might be better. And on one level, I would say they're right in that I believe that suffering is a human condition, and no matter what, there will be suffering. But we have the ability to decide our suffering. And so, as I've talked about in the previous few videos, deciding to start a business, deciding to start or to change a job, to change a job, to change careers, that's about deciding. And it's deciding it's deciding to suffer. It's deciding in suffering, a big part of suffering is about sustaining. It's about keeping going. But what else is going on? Deciding is about deciding to learn, to engage, and to continue a lifelong. And so that's why I think the early rewards, having the carrot taken away, is dangerous. And if you're in a situation, whether it doesn't matter, whether you're an employee or an owner, whatever it is, if the suffering is not meaningful to you and is not for a greater cause, then it's time to relook or revisit and potentially make a change. And this causes me to then quote Steven Spielberg, because what he has said is, whether in success or in failure, I'm proud of every single movie I've directed. You shouldn't dream your film, you should make it. And so I urge you to make that decision about what it is that you will choose to be passionate about, and to embrace that you will have a love-hate, use both meanings of passion, in whatever it is you pursue, and to embrace the suffering as much as you embrace the moments of joy that you have. But it all starts with deciding. I'm Robert J. Conley. That's what I got for you today. Take care.